Test. 1, 2. Testing. 1, 2. Hey, Victor. Woohoo! Touchdown! Yay! It only took forever. Well, it's a strange time of the day for me to be doing a live stream, but I've done about 5 or 6 of them where I was trying to test, and I finally got one to work, so I figured I'd go with it. I fixed it by muting the sound on my video, me watching it, trying to listen to how it sounded, caused that looping, and I muted the microphone on my XSplit output. So that's basically how I fixed it. I have reinstalled everything. I've been up and down and around, and it sounds like I've finally gotten it. The looping was caused by me having the speaker on me watching my own video, trying to figure out what it was actually sounding like, because I was doing test recordings and it sounded just fine. You know, on a test recording, I'd make a couple of adjustments and I'd do another test recording and it would sound just fine. But then when I would try to go live, I'd get the echo and the looping again. So, and you're saying my volume's really low? I'm at 75% on my... and I'm about at 75% on this too. I can bring it up a little. Is that too loud? Or is that better? Yay, I can actually do live streaming again. I never realized how much I'd miss it if I couldn't use it. My wife is on vacation in Michigan, so I could have been doing a lot more live streams actually, but I wasn't. Another terror attack in Europe, Danny, in Brussels. This whole, I mean, hey Susan, welcome to the stream. Danny, I'm really sorry. I mean, there have been so many attacks lately that we're just getting kind of numb to all of it, and I really don't want to bring politics, you know, my personal politics or how I feel about what's going on in the world into a fish stream. You know, I do my very best to just try to focus mainly on fish. I'm so sorry that this stuff continues to go on. Yeah, I have all kinds of personal opinions about this, Danny, but I'm not sure if a Fish Fam live stream is the proper place to get into all that stuff. I would be expounding my own theories about terrorism and what causes it. It's a crying shame. I can say that much. And did you get your money for your camera, Danny? anybody that has expendable income, and I'm not one that has expendable income because I'm on a fixed income. But anybody that can help Danny get his camera, I'm sure we'll get better video production out of Danny. I donated what I could. It wasn't very much, but I think it's a good investment. Hey, Chef, man, how are you doing? How has your health been, my friend? I've been kind of keeping my eye on you, hoping you were still continuing to improve with your health, Chef. You had me worried there a few months back with how sick you were being. I think you have the same cigarette issue that I do, Chef. We need to quit smoking is what we need to do. I don't smoke on my videos or on my live streams because I don't want to impress any young person that smoking is okay. I want them to understand very clearly that it starts out real fun and easy, but it never ends well. Cigarettes are a bane on your health. So if you can keep yourself from doing it, never start. If you are doing it, stop as soon as you possibly can. And that's enough for moral issues from this side, I think. On my home front, I added 12 autos to my wife's rainbow tank. I got them locally at a fish store. I was concerned about quarantining them, but I realized that 12 autos would not survive in a newly set up quarantine tank because there was basically nothing in there for them to eat. And I've had mixed luck. Hey Jeremy, welcome to the stream, man. Yay, I'm not echoing or looping. Yeehaw! I finally got to the bottom of it somehow. But I added those autos straight to the rainbow tank. And one of them at least died like 3 days after they went in. And 34 South Americans from the airport. Oh my gosh, Chef. I'm so jealous. Where are you going to put them, man? You're going to have a new room for all your new fish. What are you getting? 34 South Americans. Let me guess. Jaguars Maniguensi, some kind of strange variety. Dovies, some kind of strange collection point Dovie. Severums. I'm guessing, Chef. Help me out here. Anyway, yeah, right, Jeremy. 65 isn't enough. Oh, I'm sitting at 5 up and running now, and it's not. You have a new room you're building, Chef? Oh my God. Have I missed a video of that? A 210. Woohoo! I'm so jealous of all your fish. Anyway, tonight you're putting out the video. I will be there with toes, with bells on my toes, man. And anybody that listens to my live stream should go and check out Chef Cooper's Cichlids. And he doesn't use the chef anymore, but that's what he was calling himself when I first started watching him. So I still call him Chef. He may hate it, but he's Cooper's Cichlid now. Definitely go check out this man's fish room, and more importantly, to me, the thing about Chef Cooper is he has an uncanny ability to overstock his tanks and yet get all the fish in the tank to breed at the same time. Chef, I've never known anybody that overstocked their tanks as much as you do that had such incredible luck breeding. And we all know it's not luck, it's skill. And thank you for allowing us to watch your skill, man. It's encouraging, it's inspiring, and it's dangerous to have all those fish in all those tanks. That's right. And you, if more than anyone, should make a serious video about how many water changes it actually takes. Because I don't think that translates in your videos, that people understand just exactly what is required. You need to do a video of nothing but water changes. I know, man. You inspire me, Chef. You really do, man. Back to my wife's tank. The autos have completely cleared up all the diatomaceous algae. They've been in there about a week now, maybe a week and a half. And I don't know what's going to happen when they eat it all, because they're all going to starve to death, I guess. I've tried, in the past, I've tried feeding leaf lettuce, cucumbers, all kinds of squash, and I've never had any luck getting them to eat that stuff. So I don't know what's going to happen when they get all this diatomaceous algae cleaned up. But the leaves on the plants are all looking nice and clean and green now. I need to do an update on that tank after having added those autos. Yeah, Chef, I'm continually amazed at your incredible successes. You breed fish more regularly than anyone I've ever really seen. Thanks for stopping by, Chef, and everybody that hasn't, go watch Chef Cooper's channel. The guy's right here. You can click on his three little buttons beside his name and go watch his channel, and I would recommend doing that over watching my live stream, because I don't really have any axe to grind today. The one thing about doing all these live streams is that it gets hard. Thank you, Nisi. It gets harder and harder and harder to come up with a really clean, separate issue for each live stream. You know, live streams by their nature end up evolving into different kinds of things. People ask questions, people have problems, people have comments. You know, it's a live stream by its own nature is going to grow on its own. We love you too, Chef. So I think a lot of us who follow KG have seen his latest video, where basically he's hit the wall with producing new fish videos that he feels like are something new and fresh and different, because he's done a video on everything. You know, he's got 300 or 400 videos, and he's done a video on everything. He's pretty much been there and done that. And you know, I think we should support him in hitting this wall, because what he will eventually begin to realize is that the everyday little things, just like me talking to Chef about doing just a video on literally the water changes he does and how he does them and what tricks and tips he has learned through the process of keeping so many fish in so few tanks and having them breed for him anyway. His experience, whether he realizes it or not, is valuable to everyone out there. And it's the same thing with KG. And I think after he gets doing exercise videos or whatever videos it is that he wants to do out of his system, you know, does 4 or 5 of them or 200 of them, whatever it takes, that he will begin to realize that the true value in videos and live streams is not so much that it's all new. Hey King Lee, welcome to the stream. I'm not echoing anymore. That the true value of live streams and the true value of videos is the little things. It's the stuff that is we don't think about it. People that have been doing fish keeping for decades or centuries, as in the case for some of us, at least it feels like centuries, we don't really, you know, it's like driving. The first time you drive a vehicle, you've got a death grip on the wheel, and you drive like this because you're scared to death you're going to run off the road or have a huge wreck or kill 500 people, you know. But by the time you've been driving for 10 or 15 years, you know, I can drive with one finger on the wheel and feel in control. You know, my hands are both ready to grab it if I need to. But that's the way it is with experienced fish keepers, in that they do things that no longer require their brain engaging. It's mostly, you know, muscle memory, the idea that they understand already the things that they're trying to do and what they need to do and the tricks and the tips that they've picked up over the decades to be able to do that without really stopping and thinking about it, thinking, oh, I'm going to put my fingers over the end of the hose, sticking out past the hose, so that when I suck to get the siphon going, I'm not sucking water in my mouth and my mouth is not touching the hose. You know, we do this stuff by rote. We do it by muscle memory. We don't really stop and think about it and then turn to the camera and say, oh, by the way, when you're doing this, you need to put your fingers around the end of the hose and pull it up far enough where you're not touching the hose. And that way your mouth never comes in contact with the hose. You know, you see 100,000 people on YouTube sticking that hose in their mouth and sucking on it. Yeah, well, I'm here to tell you that's not good for your health. That there are things occasionally in fish tanks that you don't need to be sucking into your mouth and then spitting back out. And of course, we all goof up sometimes and do it anyway, but we're better off not doing it. I'm so happy I finally managed to get to the bottom of this issue. And I tried setting OSB up. What kind of pleco, dank tanks? What kind of pleco is that in the screen that keeps going in and out of my homemade pleco cave? Is that what you're asking me? You know it's an L260. That's the pleco that I keep. That's the whole reason I got back into the fish hobby, because the whole time I was out of it, I was thinking about these plecos. The Queen Arabesque, the queen of the plecos. And they seem to be kind of passe now, but it's an L260, dank. And I caught this footage, it's probably been 3 months ago now, 4 months ago maybe, but I caught this footage of the L260 hanging out of the end of the pipe. I have such a hard time getting them on camera or getting them very clearly. But in this instance, that pleco was going in and out of that pipe. And I managed to grab my camera and get some footage of it. They're gorgeous plecos. You never see them. They hide all the time. I've got 6 of them in that 110-gallon tank, but you never see one of them. You might see a tail or occasionally the head, but you never see them. Now, in the middle of the night, if I have to get up and go to the bathroom and I flip on my room light, occasionally I catch them either down on the sand substrata, filtering through the sand, looking for something to eat, or up on the glass. But as soon as that light comes on, they go straight back to their hiding spots. They do not like light at all. I've seen all kinds of YouTube videos where they've got 300 of them in a tank, and they just swim all over the place, acting like they're for all the world tickled to death to be out in the light. But my experience is that they hide 90% of the time. You very rarely ever see one come out. And mine have gotten really good at recognizing when I'm coming out into the room. If I'm in here in the computer room and I get up to go in there, they can see me through the side of the tank and they dart out. They're gone. You can't spot them. I have to sneak up on them if one of them happens to be out. If I get it just the right angle on the corner of the tank, yeah, they are pretty if you can see them. That's why I enjoyed this footage so much, because I was actually able to. The fish felt like it was still hidden because its head is inside the cave, so it couldn't see me filming it. But yeah, they're gorgeous fish. To my eye, anyway. So, you guys got any questions? Any interesting anecdotes? Any, I don't know. I just got on here to see if I could finally get this video streaming to work again, because I've been missing it. The idea that I couldn't do it bothered me a lot. Not that I wanted to do it continuously, but the idea that I couldn't do it anymore was really getting under my skin. I'm coming up on the end of my my free XSplit. I got 3 months free for buying my Logitech 920 Pro camera, the web stream camera that I use. I got 3 months free on XSplit, and I wrote them a long nasty letter and told them that my 3 months was getting ready to be up, and I was having so many issues with the XSplit program that I could no longer live stream with it. And all this happened to me after the update. Before the update, I didn't have any of these settings set, and it caused me literally no trouble at all. But ever since this update, the software update they sent out, I've had nothing but issues. Yeah, Nisi, I bought a small thing of the really small bug bites. Community, maybe it's Community, but my fish love it. Every fish tank I put it in, they all eat it as fast as it hits the water. So I think they've really come up with a winner with bug bites. I'm still not sure how good it does your fish. You know, what soldier fly larvae actually have value as far as the nutritional value of soldier fly larvae is, but the fish literally love it. Since I've got my live stream working and I've got my extension set up, let's do some looking at tanks in the house, because we can. I got to get these wires all spread out again in the trash pile that is my house. My wife's on vacation, so I'm not doing very much cleaning while she's gone. Sad to say. Okay, excuse the massive camera disturbance. Nisi, Kevin, that fish is just in the cave. That fish did lay eggs for me once. So here, let's go full screen on this. Boy, somebody's got flyaway hair this morning. Okay, let's do a little walk through the house and look at tanks as much as we can. Okay, we need to plug in some lights. And let's look at where my fish are. I'll give you a little light and show you that that same pleco is in another cave. I don't see another one in there. This is probably more an indication of water quality issues than anything else. My tank's a little low on water and I probably need to do a quick water change. There's nobody in the other ones. I can show you that these, they hate the light. And you'll notice there's quite a bit of algae on the surface of my tank, but I leave it there because the plecos will eat it, and I mostly try to film on this side. So yeah, I need to clean this side of the tank again. But I think you can see how they're all hiding. They don't like this black thing that I'm holding. My scud bucket is doing fine. And guys, I can't see chat right now. The shrimp are doing fine. Look at all the babies on the surface of that glass. They're everywhere. I probably have 100 shrimplets on the surface of this glass. And they are all over the place. I keep filming right here, trying to get good macro footage of them, but I still haven't mastered it yet. But I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but there are a ton of shrimplets there. They're everywhere from the size of a head of a pin to an 1/8 to a 1/16 of an inch long, and they're breeding like crazy. And here's the reason why. The temperature in this tank is 80 degrees, and it's not because I'm trying to make it 80 degrees. It's because that's what the temperature in the room is running. Okay. Here, let's feed these guys. Maybe that'll get them out where you can see them. Let's see. We can put some bloodworms in there. They like bloodworms. They'll come out for that. few bottom sinking pieces in there too. That'll make them come out where we can see them. Excuse my great camera work. But those Teleocycla monogrammas are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. They're hiding again because they see me out with the camera. But the largest one I have in this tank is probably going on 4.5 inches now, and they're getting meaner and meaner and meaner as they go along. All right, see my little bit of cyanobacteria right there? It's gone from the bottom of my tank now, but it moved up onto the wall of the glass of the tank, and it has caused not as much trouble up there, but my plecos come out and eat it every now and then. I was concerned that it might kill them, but it doesn't. They've done just fine eating it. I mean, basically, that's where spirulina comes from, is from, excuse my messy house, as we go into the other room. Try to get through here. Rufus, look out, buddy. Look out, Rufus. Yeah, we're not going to have much room here. So you can see that I've got this 20 gallon that I got from Jimmy set up for a quarantine tank. I've got a small sponge filter in it, and I've got a small undergravel filter comes out to about here in it. There's a lot of mulm in there. There are also 2 dead shrimp that I picked out of the Kelly Kapowski tank in there for ammonia creation. And I can't get this out in front far enough. There you can see 2 autos right here in the corner looking for something to eat. But you can get a good enough view in there to realize that the plant leaves are clear and that the sides and mostly the back and the front of the tank are free from diatomaceous algae. You can still see some on the heater. I guess it heats up and they don't like it, so. And then way over there in the corner through all the mess, you can see the Kelly Kapowski tank set up. And this is my dining room. It is a stacked up mess. My wife retired, brought all of her stuff home, and then promptly went in for cancer surgery and is still recovering. So it's been a process for us. She hasn't really been able to get her stuff put away properly because, well, life's just been throwing her curves. Okay, let's see here if I can get this back where it's supposed to be. So there's a little walkthrough of my 5 tanks that are set up, and you can see a little bit of how they're up and running. I'm sorry if my camera work was not excellent. You can't really, I'd almost have to have an iPad with me to tell exactly what kind of video I was showing you as I walked around. Okay. Now we can drop this back in. Yeah, it feels so good to be able to live stream again. It's pretty amazing to me. Okay, I'm back where I can see comments again. Kevin asked me if he's first on my list for babies. Kevin, I would be more than happy to have a whole clutch full of babies and be able to send you some. So yes. And Kevin, that queen is not guarding eggs. She did lay eggs at one time. Hey, Corona Ken, no problem, man. I'm glad you got a chance to stop by, man. How we say that in the South is, I'm proud you got a chance to see me, Ken. Yeah. Yeah, don't get burnt. Sorry if I made you guys dizzy walking around my house with that camera. Yes, the echo has gone, Laura. Yay! Namaste. All right, guys, if there's no questions, then I'm probably going to call this to a sudden stop. Hey, Priscilla, how is it going? No, I'm still using XSplit, Aqua Apprentice. I tried to get OBS up running, and I just could not. I got the sound working, and it was streaming, but I couldn't get my image to work yet. So I'm still going to have to play around with that. And as long as I can get XSplit to work, I don't know how hard I'm going to work at OBS anyway, because I'm Laura, I fixed it by one. I fixed the loop by muting the speaker on my actual YouTube page video where I'm watching the stream, and I was using the speaker on it to listen to hear if I was echoing, and that's what was causing the loop. I fixed the echo by muting the mic in the program itself, so that it isn't hearing itself over and over and over again. Yeah, Priscilla, it's been hot here for a week. Now I'm hearing, my wife says it's really cold up in Michigan right now, and I've heard several, Corey was saying it was cold up in Washington, so there's cold air coming. Kevin asks, I collected a huge barrel of rainwater last night. Safe to just dump in my tanks tonight? And while for the most part I would agree with that, there are a couple of real considerations that you need to take. One, you need to test that water just like you'd test your own tank water with a strip or with test kits, just to make sure you don't have a bad nitrite, nitrate, or high TDS showing you that there is heavy metal from the atmosphere that's been collected in a rain cloud, in the water droplets in a rain cloud, and then dumped into your water barrel. You might set up a pre-filter to run it through, you know, like a carbon filter or a sediment filter that you would run it through. And I know a lot of people that collect rainwater and then run it through their RO system before they use it. just so that the DI part of the RO filter can catch any heavy metals that are in the atmosphere that end up in the rain. And there are people that use it straight out of the barrel and never worry about it. I have seen people have issues with their collection barrel having some kind of, once that collection barrel has held water for a long time, sometimes you get issues with what grows on the side, causing problems with being used in a tank. I would highly suggest that you type in huge rain barrel water and fish tanks into YouTube and watch some of the people's videos, and there's quite a few of them out there. Watch some of their videos about issues they've had with rainwater and how they've gone about mitigating those issues. So that's my take on that, Kevin. I've never collected rainwater myself. I've thought about it a lot, but it's also there's starting to be laws about how much rainwater you can collect anymore in a lot of areas. So you might look into that as well. A lot of places it's illegal to have huge collection barrels. They'll only let you collect so much anymore. Now, how they go about enforcing that, I don't know exactly. I guess if you put a video up on YouTube showing how much water you collect exactly, and then they figure out which state you're in and figure out that you're collecting more water than the state law allows, then you might have an issue with that, because your video footage could actually be the evidence they use against you. But I don't know that for a fact. Priscilla, how have you been doing, and how is your fish room doing? I feel like we're getting shorted on videos from you. We need more video output, Priscilla. I know you've been getting some new fish. You've dropped us hints. And as to how I'm doing, Priscilla, I'm doing fine. My wife is on vacation in Michigan and has been for a week. And I'm batching it, so I basically have free run of the house. I get to eat all the mac and cheese and tuna that I want. All the blueberry muffins that I want. I'm enjoying it. I miss my wife, and my dogs miss her terribly. But Laura, I think that the issue comes when so many people collect so much. When so many people collect so much rainwater that the lakes and rivers in the area start not having as much rainwater flow into them anymore. And with the, let's just say with the amount of heat that we've been experiencing on this planet in the last decade, that's beginning to be an issue in places. Where are you going back to work at, Priscilla? And I'm sorry that you're not able to support yourself doing artistic work. I did my best. And it's pretty clear to me from all the responses I've gotten on your wonderful logo artwork that other people experience as your best too. Okay, Aqua Apprentice, I'm getting ready to shut it down here anyway. Yeah, Ruru too. That's it's pretty ironic that in Brazil they're complaining about the lack of water, and they are cutting down the forest Well, I think you should, Priscilla. I think you should be able to support yourself with your artwork if that's what you choose to do. Yeah, in the areas in Brazil where they have dammed up the rivers already, they are complaining about the lack of rainfall now killing forest, and they've been cutting forest anyway to make room for all their upgrades. And what they've done basically with damming the rivers and causing less rainfall and causing the forest to become less, right, and the cattle industry as well, Ruru, that they have changed the ecosystem of the rainforest to such a point that it is really no longer rainforest. So yeah, here I go again. You're going to get me started on my political viewpoints, and I really probably shouldn't drag those into. I've got the answer for everything. I'm surprised the whole world doesn't ask me what to do, because I would sure tell them. But I guess I should leave that mute in a fish fam discussion. But anyway, they've actually changed the ecosystem in those. Oh yeah, it's political. Everything's political now, Ruru. What you ate for breakfast is a political football. Don't you realize how polarized we all are? I feel real polarized. All right, guys, before I go off the deep end on politics, back to making tacos and burritos, Priscilla. Well, at least you'll be able to bring lots of them home. All right, guys, I'm going to cut this short a little bit, but I'm really happy that I'm actually able to live stream again. And I probably got another week of vacation. And I'll try to get some more live streams in now that I can do it again. Yay! Yes, thank you, Akash. Thank you for coming. All right, you guys. I'll see you next time. I'll try to do some more pop-up videos now that I can actually make it work again. You guys have a good day. Okay, you can stand anything for 3 weeks, Priscilla. I actually worked at Campbell's Soup in Fayetteville, Arkansas one time for a month just because I needed money so bad. Bye, guys.